Well, it's been a few days that I could barely breathe, and I kind of fell behind in reviewing my daily sessions. This is a workout from 3 days ago, I think, and I barely remember what happened. Now that I'm looking back at the chin-ups, yes, it was a day where I wanted to do hopefully another rep on top of what I was doing last week when I did 6, 5, and 5 on the chin up with 24 kilos. And what I wanted to try and do was to go for a sixth one in the second set. The first set was pretty solid. It went up much faster than last week, so I had good hopes. I wasn't sure whether I wanted to go for a seventh one while I was doing this first set, but then I decided to settle for trying to go for a sixth one in the second one. And I don't know if that was a good decision or not. I don't know if I would have got seven in the first one. What ended up happening is that I struggled on the sixth attempt for this second set. I was feeling like from the fourth one, it was getting a bit challenging. My legs started twitching a little bit, and this is the last one here. I managed to get halfway up, but at some point I decided to stop fighting it because I wasn't going to get it without a massive waste in energy. And I also had the third set, so I had to consider that. I didn't want to be losing on good volume just because I got pig-headed on one specific repetition. This third set, I took an extra minute in of recovery in between, so I had 4 minutes, and just because I wanted to get as much energy back as possible. On a failure on the sixth rep, it's a lot of energy that is going to waste, and I could definitely feel that on the fifth one in this third set. It's a shame because the start of the session was very promising. Maybe if I had gone for seven in the first set, I could have got an extra one. But I'm really teetering the line of being very close to failure on each of these repetitions. So if I cannot add one rep on one session, it's not the end of the world. So after the chin-ups, I moved over to the bench where I was going to do some overhead presses with dumbbells. I added one rep on this exercise, at least from the previous week, and looking at the way that the dumbbells move from this angle here, they all looked decent. I don't really remember how this set felt. It was a few days ago, and after that I was just going into the usual wrist curls. But I definitely remember how the second one went, because at some point I just lost my grip on the floor with my feet, and I almost went flying up in the air. This is the one that I'm talking about, and I think it was the fourth or the fifth rep, so it was somewhere in between, and that really threw me off. But I still managed to get 8 reps in here. It should be any of the ones coming up now. This one up here, maybe. Yeah, this is the one. So my feet just slid over the floor. I was trying to get some good grip on the floor by pressing my feet onto it, pushing my legs down, but I don't know what happened. They just went flying up, and I was lucky that I didn't fall backwards. Probably having the weight in up and in front of me helped me managing to maintain some balance and some dignity. Hopefully, not many people looked at that. I don't think that putting it on YouTube is going to be saving me from anything. At least not from a little shame that I felt in that moment. But I was able to get the volume that I was hoping for, even despite that little accident there. So I'm happy about the way that it went. In this set here, I was much more focused in keeping my legs a bit closer to the center of mass. Maybe my feet were a bit too far out, and because the weight goes up and almost behind as I'm reaching the top of the range of motion, maybe also that contributed to my balance going a bit off. Anyways, nothing bad happened. It was almost a funny situation. And after that, I went into some handstand work. I was still feeling a bit of discomfort in the piriformis on the left side, so I was also focusing on learning the right foot kick up, and then some sled work. These backward drags are a life-saving exercise right now. I feel like the sole of my foot, of my right foot, that was giving me a bit of annoyance in the plantar area, is definitely getting better, but I still want to get some more sessions in just to make sure that the pain is not gonna come back as soon as I go into some right-left approach jumps. So a few more weeks of this hopefully should fix the problem, which didn't really last as long as I've had this discomfort in the piriformis here, which is proving to be extremely tough to deal with. anytime I move, basically, I am in some degree of hip flexion relative to some other part of the body. And if there is the slightest rounding in the low back, it doesn't even have to be a rounding, like a little bit of flexion in there, I start feeling it. So I need to be extremely cautious in the way that I move, and it's seriously, sometimes the adjustments that I have to make in order to perform any sort of, of normal movement in a way that doesn't give me any discomfort, which by the way is the surest way that I have found up until now dealing with various injuries, to make sure that the recovery is not really set back in any way, is just making very basic movements painstakingly slow. So yeah, it's a bit annoying. Anyways, that's the end of it. Ciao.